Do right even when there is no one to watch you. Hi, this is Kalpana Reddy from Kushi High School. Today I am here to discuss about class 9 chapter 3, that is hydrosphere part 2. So before moving into the topic, as usual, I just want you people to be safe at home, children, and use proper mask whenever you move outside, and have a proper diet, and boost up your immunity level. Don't roam outside unnecessarily without any valid reason, children. And if possible, apart from academics, come out with some own creations or innovative thoughts, so that, and share it to the related subject teacher, so that you'll get a good platform to like I mean to say upload your videos, or like whatever the, like I mean to say, creativity you have done. So if you come up with the creativity, definitely you'll get a good platform to explore that, right, children? Okay, so let's move on to the topic. So as I said, that today's topic is about like I mean to say hydrosphere part 2. So like in the previous session, that means in the session 6, what we have learned, children, we have learned about the hydrological cycle, isn't it? So today we are going to learn about the relief of ocean. So generally how you have different relief features of the landforms. In the same way, here also in the ocean, as like when we talk about the ocean, we do have relief features of the ocean also. So today we are going to discuss about the same thing, right, children? So the ocean basin are in many ways similar to the land surface. So similar to the land surface, how generally we have that plateaus, mountains, plains, rivers, valleys, etc. on a landform. In the same way, in the ocean also we have different relief features. So these are submarine ridges, plateaus, canons, and terraces found within ocean. So generally you all find how, like I have shown, like I meant to say in the previous pics also. So like oceans are storehouse of many things, isn't it? So you do have plants, like aquatic animals, mountains, plateaus, everything you will find deep below the ocean also, water also, children, isn't it? So how they are divided? Ocean floor is divided into four parts. So first is the continental shelf, second one is the continental slope, next comes the deep sea plain, and abyssal plain, and oceanic deep or trenches, right, children? So let's learn one by one. So we'll talk about continental shelf. The continental shelf, with a depth up to 200 meters, occupies about 7.6% of the ocean area. So apart from total surface of the ocean area, so the continental shelf, it is fine with a depth of 200 meters. With a depth of 200 meters, in it occupies a 7.6% of the total area of the ocean, right, children? And second, which is the, like I mean, say, the Siberian shelf in the Arctic Ocean, stretching to 1500 kilometers, is the width. So the biggest continental shelf, what we can say, it's a Siberian shelf in the Arctic Ocean, which is stretching to 1500 kilometers in width and importance. So what all you find in that layer, or like what all you find? See, generally how we have the different layers of the earth, like crust, mantle, core, etc. In the same way, we do have some other, like I mean say, layers also in this. So what do you find in this continental shelf? Fish wealth is more in this region. Rock, petroleum, natural gas are found here. Building seaport is possible here. Okay, children. So this all you can is available within the continental shelf. So like next move on. See here, I have shared the image. You can just have a look, children. Okay. Yeah. So this is within the sea, like below the ocean, deep below the sea, ocean. Okay, children, deep below the water. Yes, you might have seen many videos in Geographical, National Geographical Channel and Discovery Channel also. So I think it's a very easy to understand, children, if you watch Discovery Channel and National Geographical Channel, right? Next is continental slopes. The continental slope is spread from 200 meter to 3000-meter depth with complex relief. So continental shelf, then continental slope. So it is it is spread from 200 meter to 3000-meter depth with a complex relief. Submarine canals are observed in this region. These are formed by erosion process of glaciers and rivers. So I have shared the images, just you can check out, children. So what do you mean by canal? Canal is nothing but a narrow, deep valley with a, at the side you have the steep, like I mean say, slopes, what I can say. Okay, deep narrow valley. So like in the previous lesson, I guess, or in the previous chapter, I have shared you the image of the Great Canaan. Yes, so where do you find the Grand Canaan in India? Do you know about it? It's in Andhra Pradesh, Gandikonda. Yes, if in Andhra Pradesh there is a place called Gandikonda where you find the biggest canyon of India, the Grand Canyon of India. Right, children? We do have in USA also, but in India it's in AP. That is the place called Gandikonda. Right, children? Okay. Yes, deep sea plains or abyssal plains. Deep sea plains are gently sloping areas of the ocean basin. These are the flattest and smoothest region of the world. So deep sea plains, they are the flattest and they spread for a large area, and they are the flattest and the smoothest regions of the world, children. Is that clear to you? Deep sea plains. And the depth varies between 3000 to 6000. Now again there it's 200 to 3000, right? Continental slope. So here they have 3000 to 6000 meters and cover about 76.2% of the ocean basin. So the large area is covered with deep sea plains, children. Understood? Yes. Next is the oceanic deep or trenches. So generally, what do you mean by trenches? Trenches is the like deep narrow hole, or like what you can say, the deepest part of the ocean. Okay, the deepest narrow way we can say the ocean. In the ocean, they are the large narrow trenches that plunge as great ocean deep to the depth of 6000 meters. So they are the deepest, we can say the plunks. Okay, the deepest trenches are not located in the midst of ocean. They are found more close to the continent. So generally, what we will have the assumption that they are found deep into the mid part of the ocean, but no. So they are found mostly close to the continent, right, children? So that is why they are very significant in the study of plate movement. So this is the reason why. So they play a vital role in the plate movement, study of plate movement. So Marina, Pacific Ocean, names Atlantic Ocean, and Java, Indian Ocean. So you can see the like in depth means the range also what I have shared it, right, children? So here I have shared the clear picture of the like Empress slopes and like a Canon's children and continental shelf. You can just have a look. Okay, so you here you can see this is the deepest part. Okay, these are the continental shelf, then the submarine canals, continental slopes. Okay, these are the slopes, right? Okay, continental rise, transform floods, etc. Okay, so salinity of the ocean. So most of the salt in the ocean come from land. So generally, have like when if you have experienced any beach area, and if you have like while playing near the beach area, if you consume the water accidentally, you will find you will find it very salty, isn't it? Because ocean water is salty. So most from where does this all salt come from? The salt in the ocean come from land. Over millions of years, rain, rivers and streams have washed over rocks containing the compound sodium chloride and carried into the sea. So when it rains heavily, when the river water or the streams flows, so along with them they will carry the compounds which contains the sodium chloride, that is NaCl, and it carries into the sea, and when it is going to join with the sea, it get mixed up with the sea. Okay, some of the salt in the ocean come from undersea volcanoes and hydrothermal vents, and some of the salt come from where, children? Undersea volcanoes and hydrothermal vents. And when water evaporates from surface of the ocean, the salt is left behind. So generally when the water get evaporated, only the salt will get left behind, children. See, for example, if you take a plate of water and if you place it outside in the sunshine, after 1 day or 2 day, when the water get evaporated, you will find salt water, bore water, you will find salt in that, isn't it? So when the water get evaporated, ocean water get evaporated, so it will leave the salt behind. Okay, children, after millions of years, the oceans have developed a noticeably salt water. So it is a process of some millions of years, children. Okay. Next, it is calculated as the amount of salt in gram dissolved in 1000 gram of seawater. So it is like approximately calculated as in grams. So like 1 gram of salt water dissolves getting 1000 gram of seawater. Okay, children. So the average salinity of the ocean is 35% or about 35 parts of salt in 1000 parts of water. So you can just see the calculation. Okay, the 35% or about 35 part of salt in 1000 part of water. So you can just verify the calculation. All seawater contains large amount of dissolved mineral matter, of which sodium chloride or common salt alone constitutes of 77.8. So in the seawater, all seawater contains large amount of this sodium chloride, children, and or common salt alone. So alone, so the quantity, the percentage, like it, I mean to say, what constitute is 77.8%. Okay, in seawater. So you can see the large amount of water is containing sodium chloride, right, children? Factors affecting salinity in surface layer of ocean. So what are the factors? Evaporation and precipitation, already you have learned, isn't it? In coastal regions, by the fresh water flows from river, and in polar region by the process of freezing and thawing of ice. In the coastal region, by the fresh water flows from the river. So generally the fresh water, it flows from the river and it joins with the sea. When it carries the sodium chloride. Wind, by transferring water to the other areas. The ocean currents. Currents means, you know, na? So the like the mass movement of water in a definite direction, like from pole to equator and from equator to pole. You know, na? Already you have learned about it, isn't it? Different movements of ocean. Na? So it's a line joining the points in the ocean having the same degree of salinity. Okay, so here you can see the lines joining the points in the ocean having the same degree of salinity. So the line which joins the points which are having the same degree or the same amount of salinity, they are called isohaline. Understood, children? Okay. So here in this picture, it is very much clear to you. You can just have a look on it. Okay. Now coming to the homework. So here I have shared the homework for you guys. So what you have to do, you have to draw and label hydrological cycle, children. Okay, and post it in the Google Classroom. Same thing I'm going to upload, and whenever you are uploading homework in Google Classroom, kindly in the comment box you mention your name, children, so that it will be very much clear to the teachers for assessing. Okay, because we have find that many of them are not, you people have registered with your parents mail ID, but you're not mentioning your name there. So it makes very complicated for us to find out. So it's better if you mention your name in the comment box, children. Okay, so with this I'm going to just wind up the class, children. So thank you for being with me. Bye bye.